We are not machines. We do not have to overperform to prove our worth. Not to your family, not to your boss, not to your followers, not to anyone, right? Rest is your right. You do not have to earn rest. Hi, I'm Maria Davis-Pierre, licensed mental health counselor, autism advocate, and the founder of Autism in Black. I'm also autistic and a parent to 3 neurodivergent children. I bring both lived experience and professional expertise to every conversation we have here. And this is Mindful Mondays with Maria, a space where we center joy, justice, and neurodivergence every week. Let me start by saying this. If you're feeling heavy right now, you're not alone. There's been a lot of noise lately, especially the dangerous kind. Harmful rhetoric from public figures, like RFK, like the president, that paints autism as a crisis, a tragedy, a thing to fear. And as always, Black neurodivergent folks are left to carry the weight of it in silence. So today, we're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about protecting your peace. We're talking about self-care that actually supports you. Your mind, your body, your nervous system. Real care, community-rooted, liberatory, sustainable. Let's talk about what's really happening. RFK has called autism an epidemic. He was recently at a Senate hearing stating false facts about data when it comes to Black boys and autism. He was quoting an article that has been debunked, that has been refuted, that has been shown to not be accurate, was not an accurate representation of research. He's pushed conspiracies about environmental toxins, vaccines, ignoring the fact that most increases in diagnosis are due to better screening and greater awareness, especially among Black families. He's going on this whole journey of trying to find the reason that autism exists, right? And there's been reports that he's going to come out with a report linking it to Tylenol and mothers who take Tylenol during pregnancy leading to high chances of autism. All of this harmful rhetoric, right? What is getting lost in all of this harmful rhetoric, right? And it's us, our lived experience, our joy, our communities, our resilience. So before I go any further, because we know all of the harmful stuff that has been talked about, we know, I live in Florida, right? There's talk about vaccines not being in the school systems. There's talk about camps. There's so much harmful rhetoric that is being out right now. And I am hoping that this type of harmful rhetoric, this type of fear-mongering isn't going to have such a great impact on our community. So I want to talk about how I've been feeling. I want to take a moment and be honest with you all because I'm feeling it too, okay? I've been feeling anxious, all right? I've been feeling defeated. I've been tired in a way that sleep just doesn't fix. I've been sad and I've been angry, quite frankly, right? There have been days that I just don't want to do this, right? I have been angry that people with platforms are using our identities as political talking points. Sad that we are still having to prove our worth. I am so tired of having to explain over and over and over and over again that our lives matter. Okay? There are some days that I have to step away from my screen because the weight of it all feels like it is too much. So if you are there too, if you are feeling and experiencing what I'm talking about, I just want you to know that you are not weak, you are not broken, you're human, and you're caring more than most people understand. When you are living at the intersection of Blackness and neurodivergence, this type of harmful rhetoric that we have been hearing so much of for the last few months, it hits differently for us, right? Because we're not just hearing misinformation. We're hearing that our very existence is a problem to be solved. So we're not just scrolling past another headline. We are, in a way, internalizing years of medical trauma, educational neglect, and family silence. Okay? And because of that, that could be a reason that you might be exhausted and not know why. Angry but too tired to argue. Scrolling endlessly because you can't bear to read one more thing, but it's hard to look away too, right? This is about more than burnout. This is the psychological weight of being seen as a diagnosis and not a person. And it's why self-care for us has to look differently, okay? I want to offer some tools that are real, neuroaffirming, and rooted in our survival and moving from surviving to thriving, right? So here are some things that have really helped me and others in our community in protecting our peace. Some might work for you, some might not. You may have to think of other ways, and that is all completely fine. You have to do what works for you. I just want to offer some suggestions that could be starting points for you, right? One is I have information boundaries, right? Boundaries are important. I talk about boundaries all the time. Boundaries are not for others, it's for you to protect you. So, with information boundaries, you do not have to read every article or watch every video. You are allowed to say to yourself, this is too much today. You are able to give yourself that grace. You are allowed to turn your alerts off, to mute things, to log off. And that does not make you uninformed. It makes you wise. It makes you aware that you need these boundaries, right? I also do community check-ins, right? I have people who are part of my support circle, my inner circle that I check in with, right? I message someone, leave them a voice note. I'm surround myself with people who I don't have to explain myself to because I know our healing happens in community and not in isolation, right? So you need to make sure that you have your support circle. I also do really well at curating my personal timelines, right? I have separate professional and personal social media accounts, and I do a really good job of curating my personal timeline that I am on the most, right? So I mute and block freely, okay? Even people that I love, care for, part of my family, if it is something that I feel I don't need to see, I'm going to get it off my timeline, okay? And this comes with especially influencers or accounts that constantly reshare trauma, okay? Your timeline should not be like a war zone, in lack of better terms, right? Name your range. You are allowed to be angry, okay? Anger is a form of data. Journal it. Scream into a pillow. One of my children likes to do that, right? Do what you need to do. Let your body metabolize what your mind is holding, as long as it's not hurting anyone else, right? Joy as resistance. This is one of my favorite ones, right? I watch a lot of ridiculous TikToks, okay? I watch a lot of things that are not so heavy, okay? I eat the snack. I laugh out loud. I sing off key, right? Joy isn't shallow, it's survival. So don't let the world shame you for reaching for light, okay? Because joy is a form of resistance. I want you to think about building rituals and not schedules, right? Does it look like brushing your teeth to a song that you love? Lighting incense while you drink water, right? Put your hand over your heart before you open an email. I know I have a client who does that. Tiny rituals regulate us far more than long to-do lists, okay? So build rituals that are helpful to you in your mental health and your self-care. Give yourself permission to do less. We are not machines. We do not have to overperform to prove our worth. Not to your family, not to your boss, not to your followers, not to anyone, right? Rest is your right. You do not have to earn rest. So I want to end with this. If you've been feeling like the world is loud and you just want to be still, this is your reminder that stillness is not laziness. We do not use that term laziness over here, okay? If you've been doubting your place in this movement, I really want to say this. You matter, you are needed, and your wellness is a part of that work. You have to be sure to take care of self first, okay? As we always do here at Mindful Mondays, I want to end with a few affirmations. So let's do it. My boundaries are sacred. My joy is not up for negotiation. My rest is a radical act. I am enough even when I do less, okay? So take care of yourself this week. You do not have to carry it all. You just have to come home to yourself. And I'll see you next Monday.